the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see a brawl inside the NFC East. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
We're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off play action. Rutledge under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Back to throw. Rutledge. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside 3rd of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for Philadelphia, Devontae Smith. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning. He's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. They'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 2nd and 8. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back to throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense, Charles. He already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Deep in the red zone, seemed like they had their mind made up that that was 4-down territory, and now they've got it inside the 5.
I like the way you looked at that because you're thinking just like a play caller and a head coach who gave the play caller that authority. It was 4-down territory. They went for it, picked it up. They didn't get the touchdown, but what a great consolation prize. A new set of downs and another shot at the end zone.
Here we go now on first and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Pascal from 4 yards out. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You say, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and second and 1 is now third and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's third down.
And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on third down. Looking to throw. Rutledge. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3 and out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Off the play fake. Rutledge. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Back to throw. Rutledge got his man there, complete to Gallup. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's make a run. Let's go. Get in there. Make plays, y'all. Make plays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Rutledge. Flush to his right. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Rutledge. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to throw. Rutledge. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. Touchdown. Dalton Schultz. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He hit on all 6 of his passes on that opening drive, including the final throw for a touchdown. as his guys start here 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Down to about the 45.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Rutledge. And that's complete to Cooks. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards, and the Cowboy 1st down.
Operating from the gun, Rutledge. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guy's playing it. are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick-6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick-6.
Elliott on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. Takes it at the 7. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And they'll start out here with a jet sweep. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. And now here's a carry heading left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 53 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
On first down, Rutledge able to hit his target, Lamb. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Looking to throw on second down. Rutledge. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Rutledge looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It's a pickup of 7, and it is also the final play of the first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Reports. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side, and they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Second and 9 now. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their mind. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And they've got to be thrilled with the situation they've inherited here. Thank you, defense.
Thank you, indeed. They set them up in the short field ahead of them, and now they've got a good chance to strike quickly and take the lead.
Throwing to start the drive. Rutledge. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
To throw on second down. Rutledge. He finds his man. Complete. It's Schultz. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there are going to take this to about the 10-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did.
Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On second down, they'll run it here. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Rutledge. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
And Charles, what did you think of the play call here this close to the goal line?
Well, it's easy to criticize when it doesn't work, but the bottom line is, this close to the goal line, you have to speed up your process. If you don't, negative plays are going to result.
So on 4th down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher, from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Maher able to put this one through, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And out now come the Eagles.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Pascal, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott now to have the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now here come the Cowboys. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 93 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rutledge. He gets it to Cooks. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 3rd and 4 now. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Now they go screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On play action, they'll throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Right back to him on first down. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Let's go now, let's go.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Gets past one man. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now an option play on second down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On 1st and 10, Rutledge. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Complete to number 34.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain. To throw on second down, Rutledge.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run. The good footwork nearly all for naught. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Here we go on 4th down. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Rutledge. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Back to throw. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. On the left side, Gallup's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for an onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it, and it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile, we do have an injured player. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Taken from about the 12. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Now a dump off here complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn into a big gain.
Yeah, we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. 2nd and 3. Finding Pascal. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. Back to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Second and 6. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So they tried to ice him there, but it's fair to say it did not have the intended effect.
And I've known kickers that take it as an affront. And there he says, you think you're going to rattle me? Think again.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. Well, this one probably was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.